you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a video on all of my business fails. I end up making sure to write them down. This is something that I feel like it would be fun to do just because, I mean, we're all not perfect, we mess up, so I kind of just wanted to share with you guys the mess ups. Some of it is just kind of like a no-brainer, like how did you even mess this up? But yeah, I did. I managed to do it. So we're gonna share those. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, you guys. So there was one main thing that this thing had caused me problems, and it was so frustrating because it was just like almost like just everything that revolved around this one, I don't know if I want to say product or what, but basically that revolved around this like product or whatever. Like it was just a pain in the butt. So with that being said, it was just frustrating. I was driving me crazy, and so finally I just basically had to change a lot of things just to basically make this one thing work. So not in any particular order that I'm going in. I kind of made or listed everything so it kind of flows and the video is not all jumpy all over the place. But yeah, so the first thing that I did was I bought 5x7 cards, and I also bought, like, the cards that I mean, they were cardstock. That was 5x7. They were supposed to fit in here perfectly. So what ended up happening, they ended up being too big for this packaging. So the package that I got to send out my kits is actually this one right here that you are seeing. And if you guys could tell, this is bigger than the package. So with all of my sizing kits, let me know if you guys want to see a video on how I made my sizing kits. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to see a video on that. Well, anyways, and so I ended up having this, and I put this in here, and or I was like, you know what, like, because at first I didn't even realize, I didn't pay any attention to this. I went to go try to mail an order, and these were still coming in the mail. This was something that I was still waiting for. And so I ended up I tried to put my card in here, and it was way too big. And the bigger envelopes that I have, they're solely just for the press-on nail boxes. So that's kind of like what I use that for. Unless they order other things that is just actually a lot more, then that's when I am going to go ahead and use those. But with that being said, these are the ones that I ended up having for this. And honestly, it was just, it was frustrating because I had everything envisioned a certain way and I wanted it to fit all in this envelope. So I didn't want to return these envelopes, so I ended up actually having to resize my kits. So I made them smaller. After I made them smaller, once I finally got these in the mail, I noticed that these weren't the right size. Not even if I put them the other way, they were still too long. I mean, I could have cut them down again, but then I feel like at that point you're just taking a lot off, and it was just a lot. So I ended up having to actually just end up like not using these. I mean, I did put them on some, but I ended up having to tape them. So I put them in the bag like this. So say if it was in the bag and I had to tape it down in the back, and then it has like a self-adhesive right here. I would cut this part off and then flip it over so then I could tape it. But I mean, it looked a lot nicer than that. I wouldn't let packaging going out looking crazy. But so that was something I was super bummed about. Wasted my time doing all of that just because I ended up buying all that stuff for that, and it just ended up being a fail. Okay, so there was another paper that I had bought like this. I don't have the papers because I threw them away, which I wish I would have kept so I could show you guys how bad they turned out. So what ended up happening was I bought, I'm not going to show, I'm going to cover my thing right here because it has a coat on it. But so I ended up making these. I ended up getting some paper online, and I had actually got it, and I didn't really pay attention to if it said that if it was for an inkjet printer or a laser printer. And with that being said, I was like, oh, or maybe I thought it was for a inkjet printer, because I did have an inkjet printer. Let me start from the very beginning. So what ended up happening was I ended up buying ink for $50 for my Epson, I think it was XP 440. I've had so many problems with it. Getting it unclogged, fixing it, getting it to work, and then only for it to just be clogged all over again is so frustrating. I tried to clean it out. I tried to do all these things. Nothing worked for it. So I ended up basically wasting $50 because I was trying so hard to get it working. And because of that, it, like all the times of trying to get it working, it ended up always just getting clogged. If I didn't use it right away, even if I did try to use it right away, it would still get clogged. So let me know if you guys have the same problem with your printers, because I kind of go a little while without printing, so maybe that was my problem. I'm thinking about getting an Epson Eco Tank, so if you guys have one of those, comment down below and let me know what you guys think of them. Do you use them all the time? Do they get clogged all the time? Because I've heard some people that it gets clogged, but I don't know how often they're using it, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, if you're not using it, I think it is going to get clogged. So that's kind of like what I'm nervous about getting it, just in case, because I don't want to end up getting clogged and wasting all my money, because they are kind of a pretty penny. But, so I ended up getting the printer, the ink, for $50. And I kept trying to get the printer to work. And then you always have to do like these rebooting things, or like you basically test it to make sure it's working. So I would test it. I was like, well, maybe if I print a whole page out, maybe it'll finally get everything flowing and it'll work. So I kept on doing this, and then the ink basically kept running out every time I would use it. In inkjet printers, the ink runs out super quick. That's why I'm thinking about the Eco Tank. But yeah, so that was frustrating. And so then after the paper that I got, I did finally get my printer working. And then the paper that I got kept getting jammed in it. It didn't even want to go through. So that was a fail. And then so I was just like, you know what? I'm done with it. I ended up selling the printer. And I was like, you know what? Like, I sold it for super cheap. I was like, if somebody wants this, come and get it, because it's not working for me. I have problems with it, but it still works, but it gets clogged. So the lady, she ended up coming and pick it up. And so then just because I ended up spending $50 on it, and then after, it was just a waste of money. And then after, I ended up taking the paper that I had, because I called Staples. I was like, hey, look, like, this is what happened. Can I bring my own paper in? And the guy's like, oh yeah, you could bring your own paper in. It'll end up making it so much cheaper. It cuts the price down a lot if you bring in your own paper. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then after I go in, the lady's helping me. And then I was like, can we do a test to make sure that this picture is not going to be pixelated? I really want to make sure it comes out right. And because the price that you told me over the phone was completely different, because if they have to edit any of your stuff, then the price per page just keeps going up. So with that being said, it's kind of frustrating, and yeah. So then I was just like, oh, are you serious? And I'm just trying to get all this stuff to work, and it's frustrating because it's just not working. And then finally the lady shows me, because I did my picture. This was another fail. I did my picture on my phone, and then after I was like, cool, it looks perfect on my phone. I want to go take it and get it all together. So I ended up doing that. And then once she printed it out, it was so glitchy. And I was like, what? Why? It looks good on the phone. Why doesn't it look good on here? So in order to make your stuff not glitchy, what you have to do is actually edit it on the computer, and actually edit it on the size of card that you actually want to get done. I think mine was too big or too small or something like that. But yeah, so that was a fail because I wasted all my time working on this. But luckily she was able to fix it, because she blew up the image huge, and then she scanned it on her stuff and fixed it. But anyways, so back to the paper. The paper ended up, over the phone, he told me, if the paper doesn't have shine on it, you're good to go. Bring it in, we'll print on it. And because if it's shiny, then it's most likely inkjet paper. And I was just like, okay, it doesn't look really shiny to me. So I ended up going to bring it in, and tell me why. the girl prints on it, it looks perfect. I'm like, yes, we got it. I don't have to like, you know, pay for more money for all this stuff. And so then we put it in the printers, and then next thing you know, like the printer keeps getting jammed with this paper, and it was a 5x7 cardstock paper or something like that, but it was an inkjet paper. And so it keeps getting, she was only able to put 2 in at a time to make it go. And she's like, you know what, I'm done with this. Like, I'll just give you the paper and I'll just charge you same price as what I would have charged you for this. She's like, just because I am not going to be like putting 2 in at a time. Like, I have a lot more stuff I need to take care of. And I was just like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, of course. Like, you know, like, I'll just do it for you. Don't even worry about it. I was like, okay, like, thank you so much. And I was super grateful that she was going to do that, because, I mean, when you're first starting a business, you know, everything is super expensive. And just to add on those little, like, I mean, at that point, it would have been a lot more expensive if I would have had to pay for everything. But luckily, she was nice enough to not charge me for it. She just charged me basically the bare minimum. So I'm super thankful for her. I know she's probably not watching my video, but I'm super thankful for her. But after we had looked at the printer paper, I was like, oh dang, like I was bummed out because the printer paper, it didn't work. And then I find out that I go and touch it and I'm like, what the heck, like why is all this black stuff on my hands? There was ink everywhere, because it wasn't a laser printer, and that's what they use for black and white over at Staples, is a laser printer. All of the ink or whatever was all over my hands. Like, it was just everywhere. I got it, like I was touching other stuff and I didn't realize all the ink that was everywhere, but it was all over my hands. I got it on my clothes, like, and the paper was just a mess. So everything on the paper was just smeared, because I had like swiped the card like this when I picked it up, and it, like, all of the cards underneath, like, that had moved, everything was smeared. So I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And that day I was stressed out too, because I had an order, and every time I have my orders come in and stuff, I really want my packaging to be on point for everybody. Like, I don't want it to look sloppy. I want it to look perfect. I want them to feel like, I don't know, like, I just want them to have like a good feeling when they open the package and be like, oh my gosh, it's here, and be excited to see it. Not like, oh, like, you just threw this together and stuff. Like, because everything is custom made, like, I want it to be perfect, you know? So with that being said, like, I was just really disappointed because everything wasn't really working out the way I wanted it to. And the paper was just a pain in the butt. I was smearing and everything, and it just didn't work. And it was a waste of money. But then after I went to go look on Amazon, and I was lucky enough that I was able to return it. So I did end up returning it. It was only $6, but when you are starting a business, every penny counts. So I wanted to make sure that I was, like, I wasn't spending more than I should and then returning it because I had no use for it, you know? So, yeah, that was a story with my thank you cards. That was such a pain in the butt. Oh, this day was so frustrating. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, this day I ended up going and I was trying to find the cellophane bags because I had somebody who placed an order. This was another story of somebody's trying to place an order, and I wanted my packaging to be on point before I sent it out. So I go and I'm looking for these clear resealable cellophane bags, because these bags, they have like, they're like these ones. They have the little tab where you just peel this off and it sticks down. So you don't have to tape it or nothing like that. So I was looking for these in then this size right here. And so when I'm looking for it, I was like, oh, awesome. Like, I'm going to go to Michael's. I called them. I asked them if they had it, because I went to Lobby Hobby first. There was a line that's been crazy, because if you guys go anywhere right now because of the COVID, you guys know that the lines are outrageous. So with that being said, I ended up going to Hobby Lobby first, looking for those cellophane bags. And I was like, I'm not waiting in line. I have the baby in the car and it's just too much. So I called Michael's. I was like, hey, do you guys have a line or a limit of people going in there? Like, no, you could come on in. And so then after I go in, and I'm like, yes, like, I finally find the cellophane bags, and they were actually like in a gift wrapping area. So I find that, And then when I find the cellophane bags, I go and I take it and I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. Then I realized that the cellophane bags, it doesn't have a resealable thing. And yeah, I could have used it, but I was just like, you know what, let's just drive back. Because I was like only like a mile away. So I was like, let me just drive back and do that. So then that's why I end up going again. And I end up finding another bag. And then when I find that bag, I was like, cool, like you can't really see through the packaging just because it has all the labels on the front and stuff, and you can't open them. So I end up leaving, and I end up buying it, go to the parking lot, I am reversing out super slow, my car gets hit. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I finally get home after calling the insurance and all that, and I find out that the bags that I had went to get, they were like Ziploc bags, but they were so blurry. They looked so bad. I went to Michael's to waste my time and to get in a car accident. So that was that story. It was just a horrible day. Oh, this was another one. Gosh, you guys, this one sucked. This one was like definitely a bummer. If you're watching this video, just because I know she came from my YouTube channel, I am so sorry about this, just because this was on my part that I feel like I should have, as a business owner, I should have made sure it worked. But honestly, I wasn't even really aware of I didn't even know you had to set this up, but you do. Because I had set up all of my payment methods and everything was good to go. I tested all of them, but for some reason PayPal didn't end up popping up. So I didn't even know that, because it shows you like when you're setting up your Shopify, like click the cards you want to accept. So that's what I did. And then so I didn't know PayPal was automatically on there. So then I never really checked into that or anything like that. And so this is something for, if you guys are starting your stuff, just make sure that everything's set up right, just because I did end up losing that sale and potentially basically lost a customer, you know, because it's like, the way I think about it is just like, why is she gonna want to order from me? Because like, you know, I messed up, like, I don't know, like the way I think is just like, she probably doesn't have her stuff together, so I don't really want to order from that business, you know. So that was kind of a bummer, because I ended up going on my, she ended up messaging me because I emailed her, and I was trying to accept payment, but it did not let me accept payment because the PayPal account wasn't set up. And so I was just like, okay, like let me figure out how to set it up. And then after I set it up, and then I had messaged her saying, like, because I was trying to like figure everything out, and I basically had to cancel her order, and I sent her an email saying, hey, look, I am so sorry, but unfortunately we are not able to accept this payment. Please try another card, or another way of, like another card. I forgot how I worded it, but yeah, so I ended up sending her an email, but then she wrote me here on YouTube, and she had mentioned in one of my comments, and she had said, hey, you know, like I had made an order, but all of my money was refunded, and my order was canceled. And I was just like, yeah, like, and I ended up commenting back and like telling her like if she could, she was like, then I was like, yeah, like please, like there was an error on our end and stuff. And then that's when she ended up messaging me back again. She was like, because I couldn't get my PayPal to work, like when I was trying to accept her payment and stuff, so I was like, you know what, let me just like turn off PayPal, and because I can't get it to work. She was like, are you not accepting PayPal at all? And then after, because I think she tried it again, and then after I was like, no, or like, I was like, let me try to get it to work one more time. I was like, you know what, let me just try one more time to see if it'll work. And then what I ended up finding out was that basically you had to go to your emails and accept the payment type. And I didn't know that. I thought once you set it up, you're good to go. I didn't even think to go on my email to basically press OK and whatnot. And so that was frustrating because I lost a customer and a sale. That was like a bummer and stuff. Just because it was, I don't know, like I was like, I don't know, I felt bummed out. I felt bummed out for her just because it was like almost a waste of her time. That's just like a lot that like I was just like, that was something like I was really bummed out and frustrated about, just because I really strive for all of my stuff to be perfect. Yeah, with that being said, like I was just really bummed out about that too. But if you're watching this, I am really sorry, and I hope to win your business again. I am very, very sorry. And yeah, so let me know if you're still watching my video. Go ahead and comment down below. Just know I'm very, very sorry. But yeah, so the next thing that was like kind of a fail was my pictures at the beginning. You guys could tell the difference between my pictures. I do want to keep them up just because those are the sets. I don't know, like just kind of something to look back on. But I don't know, like those pictures, my picture taking skills, at the time I thought, wow, like these look great, you know. But now getting into business and stuff and knowing how everything works and stuff, and I don't know, my picture taking skills have gotten a lot better. So thank you for everybody who has stuck around from the very beginning. Alright, sorry you guys, my little guy needs his mama, so he's gonna be right here with the video with me, huh, Papa? Okay, so but yeah, my picture taking skills, they were not the best. So with that being said, I was like super bummed out. I just like kind of woke up from a nap and was like playing a little bit while I film this video. But my picture taking skills, they were not the best. So I mean, it kind of, looking back at the pictures, I'm glad just because I see progress in the pictures. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, that was a fail. So, I mean, when you are first starting your business, make sure to look into how to take pictures and stuff. I mean, Shopify, it does have different things about, it kind of like explains to you how to like take your pictures and what lighting is best for customers, like in their liking. And so they know what it looks like in the sunlight and stuff. Try and take your pictures all under the same light, just because with lighting, it plays a big part in colors and stuff. Because coloring, honestly, in some pictures, like, I mean, with me, sometimes I'll take it in natural light, just because that's what I like. But then after, I also try to figure out how to get the, like, how do I say it? Like, I really tried to make sure the color looks the way it looks on the camera. I want it to look the same on the camera than it does in person, because if you buy a set and you end up, you're like, oh my gosh, like I bought this set thinking that it was this color and it's not that color, then I mean, somebody's going to be upset. So I do know in my frequently asked questions that each color, it varies and stuff. So just in case, I don't know, just in case like clients are like, oh, like, you know what happened. But I really do try my best to get the color of the nails on point. I even try to do videos on my Instagram. So yeah. Okay, so all right, you guys, so that is pretty much it for my business fails. So, I mean, it's more than what I'd like, because I would like to not have no business fails. But I mean, when you're learning and stuff, like this is my first time ever running an actual business. Like, I mean, I ran my nail business doing acrylic nails, but this is a whole different ball game than working in a salon and like doing business that way. Because it's like, I don't know, selling goods is a lot different than doing a service, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is still, in a way, it is a service because it is all custom. So, I mean, with that being said, like it's, I don't know, there's some things that, I mean, I don't know, it's crazy, you know, but I am so glad that I'm able to even do this and share this with you guys, just because this is just my experience. And I mean, just to look back and think about like what my business fails were, I think it'll be something cool to look back on and stuff and see like my business flourish and whatnot. So I'm really excited about that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Alright, so I'm gonna get going. Gotta feed this little guy. But yes, so don't really, if you guys really enjoyed this video, enjoying me or seeing me. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, just because it does help with the YouTube algorithm, and make sure like my video gets reached out there more. So thank you guys for watching. It really means the world to me. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as usual, I'll be back with more videos. Bye.